Clerk, do I have quorum? Very well. Order, honorable senators. Senator Gloria Roba. And Senator Beth Siango. Take your seats so that we start with this afternoon's business. Clerk, you may proceed to call the first order for the afternoon, please.
Order number 1, communication from the chair. Order number 2, papers. Order number 3, notices of motion.
Order number 4, hearing.
Nilijua kutokana na tangazo kwa redio, nilipata nami nikaanza kushiriki nikiwa ninakunywa soda, ninatuma hiyo code ambayo iko chini ya kifuniko cha soda.
Meru Radio 88.2 FM. We are in charge. Meru Radio 88.2 FM. We are in charge. Meru Radio 88.2 FM. We are in charge.
For removal of the Meru County Governor by impeachment, dated the 8th of August 2024, made pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 65-4. Certified copy of the roll call vote on the motion for the impeachment of Her Excellency the Governor, Meru County, held during the Assembly sitting of Thursday, 8th of August 2024. Documents tabled during the debate of the motion for removal of the Governor, Meru County by impeachment. These are appointment letter for 1, Matiri Kenneth Mutua, dated the 13th of February 2023, reference number CGM, stroke CBSB, stroke APPT, stroke volume 3, stroke 2023, into brackets 2022. B, a copy of a letter dated the 6th of August 2024, reference number CAM, stroke general, stroke volume 7, stroke 40. C, a copy of a letter dated the 31st of July 2024, reference number CGM, stroke CS, stroke CA.023, stroke 26, volume 1-3, into brackets 390. And D, a copy of a letter dated the 17th of July 2024, reference number CAM, stroke general, stroke volume 7, stroke 39. A copy of a letter dated the 15th of July 2024, reference number CGM, stroke CS, stroke CA, stroke volume 3, stroke 023, stroke 382. F, a copy of a letter dated the 31st of July 2023, reference number CAM, stroke general, stroke volume 6, stroke 187. G, a copy of a letter dated the 31st of August 2023, reference number CAM, stroke general, stroke volume 6, stroke 188. H, a copy of a letter dated the 20th of July 2023, reference number CAM, stroke general, stroke volume 6, stroke 168. And lastly, a copy of a letter dated the 18th of June 2023, reference number CGM, stroke CS, stroke CA, stroke volume 1, stroke 023, stroke 17. Honorable Senators, you may walk in and take your seats before I proceed with the communication. Senator Newtu, take your seat. You may greet your colleagues later on after the session, please. Number 10, the evidence of public participation. A, JHER Technology flash disk, 32 GB, containing video annexures evidencing the particulars alleged in the motion, as well as voice adverts on the public participation on the motion, run on various radio and TV stations. B, pictures and videos of various public participation fora held on Monday, 5th of August 2024, contained the accompanying flash disk. C. Copy of public participation report dated the 6th of August 2024 and laid on the table on Tuesday, 6th August 2024 during the afternoon session. D. Written printed memoranda from different wards and regions submitted to the County Assembly during the public participation exercise on the motion submitted both in support and against the motion. The memoranda inclusive of submissions received via email, minutes, attendance registration sheets, and registration forms for memoranda of the public participation held on Tuesday, 13th of December 2022. Soft copy of the third edition standing orders of the County Assembly of Meru contained in an accompanying flash disk. Pursuant to Section 33(3)(b) of the County Governments Act and Standing Order 81A of the Senate Standing Orders, at the sitting of the Senate held on Wednesday, 14th of August 2024, the charges against the Governor of Meru County, as contained in the motion of impeachment by the County Assembly of Meru, were read to the assembled Senate. Honorable Senators, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to remind you of the mandate of the Senate in relation to the proposed removal from office by impeachment of a governor as provided for under Article 181 of the Constitution as read together with Section 33 of the County Governments Act 2012 and Standing Order 80 of the Senate Standing Orders. In particular, Article 181 of the Constitution states as follows: a county governor may be removed from office on any of the following grounds: A, gross violation of the Constitution or any other law; B, where there are serious reasons for believing that the county governor has committed a crime under national or international law; C, abuse of office or gross misconduct; or D, physical or mental incapacity to perform the functions of office of the county governor. 2, Parliament shall enact legislation providing for the procedure for removal of a county governor or another ground mentioned in Clause 1. Section 33 of the County Governments Act 2012, Senate Standing Order 80 and the third schedule to the Senate Standing Orders provide for the procedure to be followed in the hearing and determination on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of a county governor. Specifically, Section 33(3) and Standing Order 81B of the Senate provide that the Senate may, by resolution, appoint a special committee comprising 11 of its members to investigate the matter or investigate the matter in plenary. Honorable Senators will recall that at the sitting of the Senate held on Wednesday, the 14th of August 2024, the motion for the establishment of a special committee was defeated. This, therefore, paved the way for the investigation on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the Governor of Meru County, to be held in plenary. Honorable Senators, ladies and gentlemen, by way of status update, pursuant to Rules 4A and 6 of the Rules of Procedure, when considering the proposed removal of a governor in plenary, the Senate invited the governor to appear and be represented before the Senate during the investigation. The Senate further invited the governor, if she so chooses, to appear before the Senate to file an answer to the charges with the Office of the Clerk of the Senate by 5 p.m. on Saturday, 17th of August 2024, setting out 1, the governor's response to the particulars of allegations; 2, the mode of appearance before the Senate, whether in person or by advocate or in person and by advocate; 3, the names and addresses of the persons to be called as witnesses, if any, and witness statements containing a summary of the evidence to be presented by such witnesses before the Senate; and 4, any other evidence to be relied on. Pursuant to Rules 4B and 7 of the Rules of Procedure, when considering the proposed removal of a governor in plenary, the Senate notified the County Assembly of the date for the commencement of the investigation and invited the County Assembly to designate members of the County Assembly who shall appear and be represented before the Senate during the investigation. The County Assembly was further invited, if it so chooses, to appear before the Senate to file with the Office of the Clerk of the Senate by 5 p.m. on Saturday, 17th of August 2024, setting out documentation as follows. 1. Designating the members of the County Assembly, if any, who shall attend and represent the Assembly in the proceedings before the Senate. 2. Indicating the mode of appearance before the Senate, whether in person, by advocate, or in person, by advocate. 3. Indicating the names and addresses of the persons to be called as witnesses, if any, and witness statements containing a summary of the evidence to be presented by such witnesses before the Senate. And 4. Specifying any other evidence to be relied on. Honorable Senators, ladies and gentlemen, on Saturday, the 17th of August 2024, the Office of the Clerk of the Senate received a response reference number HKM-CAM-2024/CGA/2024-034 and dated the 17th of August 2024 to the invitation to appear issued to the Governor from Messrs. Mutuma Gishuru and Associates Advocates, who indicated that the Governor had appointed the firm to represent her in the proceedings before the Senate, and that the Governor would also appear in person and by advocates. The letter also indicated the list of counsel representing the Governor and the list of witnesses for the Governor. Similarly, on the 17th of August 2024, the Office of the Clerk of the Senate received a response, reference number 1/CAM/001/AB/24, and dated the 17th of August 2024 to the invitation to appear issued to the County Assembly from Messrs. A and B Advocates, LLP, indicating the firm had been appointed to represent the County Assembly. The letter also indicated the advocates representing the County Assembly and the witnesses for the County Assembly. Pursuant to Rule 8 of the Rules of Procedure, when considering the proposed removal from office of a governor in plenary, on Saturday, the 17th of August 2024, the Clerk of the Senate furnished each party with the documentation filed by the other party in accordance with Rule 6 and 7 of the Rules of Procedure. Honorable Senators, ladies and gentlemen, the hearing program, which has been appended in today's order paper, detailed the various activities in the hearing and determination of the matter and the time allocated to each activity. It will be crucial, therefore, that all the parties comply with the time allocated. The parties will be notified of the balance of time on each activity through the clerks at the table. In summary, the program states that today, Monday, the 19th of August 2024, after we have dispensed with the preliminary matters, the charges against the Governor, as submitted by the County Assembly, shall be read. The Governor will be given an opportunity to take a plea on the charges. This will be followed by an opening statement by the County Assembly and thereafter by the Governor. After the conclusion of the opening statements, the presentation of the case of the County Assembly shall commence. After the presentation of the case by the County Assembly, honorable senators will be given an opportunity to ask questions or seek clarification from the County Assembly. This should take us up to the end of today's sitting. At the sitting scheduled for tomorrow, Tuesday the 20th of August 2024, the Governor will have an opportunity to present her case before the Senate. Honorable senators will also be given an opportunity to ask questions or seek clarification from the Governor, following which the closing statements by the parties will be made for a period not exceeding 1 hour each. The Senate shall then proceed to debate prior to voting on each of the charges. At this stage, a supplementary order paper will be issued to facilitate this debate. In accordance with Section 33(7) of the County Governments Act 2012 and Standing Order 86 of the Senate Standing Orders, the voting shall be by county delegations. The Governor shall cease to hold office if a majority of all county delegations of the Senate vote to uphold an impeachment charge. If, however, the vote in the Senate fails to result in the removal of the county governor pursuant to Standing Order 87, the Speaker of the Senate shall notify the Speaker of the Meru County Assembly accordingly. Now, honorable senators, ladies and gentlemen, I now invite counsel for the Meru County Assembly to introduce the legal team of the County Assembly and the members of the Meru County Assembly representing the County Assembly by stating the full name and designation of each person. You may proceed, counsel for the County Assembly.
Thank you very kindly, Honorable Speaker. My name is Ndegwa Njiru. I'll be appearing together for the County Assembly of Meru County together with Mr. Mwangi Ndegwa, Mr. Mwirigi Eric Muriuki Advocate, Mr. Meru Boniface Mawira Advocate, and Mr. Mwenda Anthony Advocate. On the part of the appearance, Mr. Speaker, sir, for the County Assembly members, we have ourselves Mr. Ngure Benson Kenywa. We have Mr. Baptista Muriki Kanyaru. We have Linda Nkirote Kirinji. We appear together with them, but for the purposes of the County Assembly appearances, we have Honorable Zipora Kinya, MCA, Honorable Auleria Murangeri Kirimana, MCA, Irene Kawira Kamencho, MCA. Those are the appearances, Mr. Speaker, sir. I am most humbled.
Thank you. All the honorable senators, Senator Faki, take your seat, please. I now invite the counsel for the governor to introduce the legal team representing the governor and the governor by stating the full name and destination of each person. You may proceed, counsel.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Sir, the governor's team is as follows. Number one, the governor herself, Her Excellency Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, is present. In terms of legal counsel, the team is as follows. My name is Elisha Ongoya, legal counsel. I'm assisted by Mr. Elias Mutuma, legal counsel. Ms. Brida Kimathi, legal counsel. Mr. Robert Mutembei, legal counsel. Mr. Edgar Busiega, legal counsel. And Mr. Collins Mwenda, legal counsel. We are also assisted by a team of legal assistants, namely Mr. Brian Lee Maingi, Michelle Makandi, Sylvia Njoki, Victor Koome, and Ms. Noble Wandera. And we shall also be joined by witnesses in this matter, led by the governor herself, Her Excellency Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, Mr. Ibrahim Mutwiri Kirimi, Mr. Dixon Munene Nkanata, Honorable Evans Mawira Kaaria, member of the County Assembly, Honorable Frida Naito Gitobu, member of the County Assembly, and Honorable Jacob Mwirigi Muturi, member of the County Assembly. That is the governor's team, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Honorable senators, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Senate, I welcome the County Assembly team, the governor's team, members of the public and the media to the Senate and to these proceedings. Finally, I will now invite the clerk to read the charges against Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the governor of Meru County. Clerk, you may proceed.
Order number 4, reading of the charges on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the governor of Meru County.
The Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, governor of Meru County, please take the stand. Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the Governor of Meru County, the charges against you as received from the County Assembly of Meru are as follows. Charge number 1, gross violation of the Constitution and other laws, that the Governor has grossly violated, among others, Articles 10 to 27, 41, 47, 73, 232, 235, 236, and 251 of the Constitution. 2, Sections 10, 15, 19, and 24 of the Public Officer Ethics Act 2003. 3, Sections 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 1B, F, 21, 29, and 59 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012. 4, Sections 2, 33, 45, 55, 58, 59, 59A, 63, 64, 65, and 69 of the County Governments Act 2012. 5, Section 4 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act. 6, Section 4 of the Fair Administrative Action Act. 7, Section 6 of the Meru County Investment and Development Corporation Act. 8, Section 9(7)(b) of the Meru County Revenue Board Act. 9, Section 10(6) of the Meru County Investment and Development Corporation Act. And 10, Section 19 of the Meru County Water and Sanitation Services Act, by engagement, connivance, and/or complicity in the following. 1, illegally revoking the appointment of CPA Virginia Kawira Miriti as Secretary/CEO of the Meru County Public Service Board without a vote of not less than 75% of all the members of the County Assembly, and in usurpation of the powers of the County Assembly, contrary to Sections 58, 4, and 5, and 59 of the County Governments Act. 2, failing to appoint the chairpersons of the Meru County Revenue Board, Meru Microfinance Corporation, Meru Youth Service Board, and Meru County Investment and Development Corporation Board as required by law, thus failing to operationalize the said boards, and/or illegally appointing the said chairpersons without vetting and approval by the County Assembly, contrary to Section 4 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act. The respective secretariats of the said boards continue to draw and expend public funds without duly appointed board members to exercise a supervisory role over the board's secretariats in order to ensure accountability in the spending of funds, thus jeopardizing service delivery. 3, refusing to implement the recommendations and/or resolutions of the County Assembly requiring the Governor to A, dismiss the County Secretary, Dr. Kiambi Atheru Ndambura, and the Chief of Staff, Mr. Harrison Gatobu Nchamba Mbidhi, from office for gross violation of the Constitution and other laws, and B, blatantly ignoring or failing to submit a report to the County Assembly on the implementation of the said recommendations within 60 days as required in the report of the County Assembly dated 23rd December 2023, contrary to Article 183(3) of the Constitution. 4, illegally dismissing Dr. Ntoiti, CEO of County Revenue Board, Paul Mwaki, CEO of Liquor Board, Kenneth Kimathi Mbae, Managing Director of Meru Microfinance Corporation, and Joseph Kithure Mberia, CEO MEWASS, in usurpation of the powers of the appointing authorities, contrary to Section 9(7)(b) of the Meru County Revenue Board Act and Section 10(6) of the Meru County Investment and Development Corporation Act, as a result of which the County Government of Meru has been slapped with costs and damages amounting to Kenya shillings 4 million by the Employment and Labor Relations Court. Charge 2, gross misconduct, that the governor has engaged in gross misconduct by deliberately and knowingly misleading the public by giving false information that Kenya shillings 86 million had been raised through the pay bill number 247247, account number 040016391789, established after the murder of Daniel Muthiani, alias Sniper, while the correct position is that only Kenya shillings 286,516 was raised, thus violating the moral and ethical requirements expected of a state officer, contrary to Section 19 of the Public Officer Ethics Act and Section 29 of the Leadership and Integrity Act. Charge 3, abuse of office, that the governor has engaged in acts and omissions which singularly and collectively amount to abuse of office and gross violation of, among others, Articles 10, 73, 201, 226(5), and 232 of the Constitution, Sections 8, 12, 13(1), and 35 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, and Sections 45(2) and 46 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act by the following. 1. The irregular payment of emergency call allowances to 161 doctors and medical officers using the wrong rates, leading to excessive payment of Kenya shillings 74,340,000, contrary to Sections 45(2) and 46 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act, Sections 11 and 15 of the Public Officer Ethics Act, and Section 12(1) of the Leadership and Integrity Act. 2. Use of manual payroll to pay personnel emoluments amounting to Kenya shillings 102.94 million, which is 3.1% of personnel emolument costs, contrary to Section 6.7.6 of the County Financial Accounting and Reporting Manual. 3. Employing a bloated workforce of at least 111 personal staff in the office of the governor, thus contributing to an increase in the wage bill by more than Kenya shillings 500 million and an excessive wage bill that is 49% of the annual revenue allocation, far beyond the 35% limit set by Section 25(1)(a) and (b) of the Public Finance Management County Government Regulations 2015. And 4, paying Kiambi Christas Manyara, a public communication officer in the office of the governor, his full salary and benefits while in remand and despite being accused of murder, contrary to Section 4.2 of the Public Service Commission Discipline Manual for the Public Service. The Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, how do you plead to the 3 charges? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Now, Honorable Senators, pursuant to Rule 17 of the Rules of Procedure, as contained in the 3rd schedule to the Senate Standing Orders, each party will have 30 minutes to make their opening statements. Not more than 30 minutes. We will start with the County Assembly. The floor is yours.
Honorable Speaker, the members of the Assembly, I seek your guidance before we make our address, and I seek leave on Rule 10 of the Standing Rules and Article 50 of the Constitution in respect to a preliminary issue that has risen, and equally Rule 14. Any preliminary questions or issues raised by the County Assembly or the Governor shall be urged for not more than 30 minutes unless the Speaker otherwise directs. Honorable Speaker, I seek your guidance in respect to a communication that was done to this House by the County Assembly via a letter dated 17th August 2024 and another dated 18th August 2024. In the letter dated 18th August 2024, Mr. Speaker, sir, we sought that, sorry, let me begin down dated the 17th. We sought the indulgence of this Honorable Speaker to exercise its powers to summon a witness who was not within our ability. That is one CPA Virginia Kawira Mwangaza, who is currently the CEO of the Meru County Public Service Board. In our letter, Honorable Speaker, we laid out the basis upon which our application is premised, and that there was a sought that she comes with any relevant information that relates to the proceedings before this assembly this morning. Virginia currently works with the county government of Meru, and she's the CEO whom we intend to speak to various issues raised in our motion. That is to mean, Honorable Speaker, that she's an integral infrastructure in respect to laying the case and the basis of our the motion for impeachment, to the extent that if her availability is not secured, will end up prejudicing the case for the county assembly. Equally, Mr. Speaker, sir, so it's enough and seek your guidance. We were served with the documents and the responses from the governor's response team, and as correctly put and captured by your address this morning, Mr. Speaker, sir, we noted that there were some issues and very serious issues that were raised, some of them bordering between criminality or forgery of documents. Mr. Speaker, sir, in that respect, we noticed from the governor's response a letter from one Linda Gaki Kiome, who is the legal advisor to the governor, as at 23rd February 2024. We equally noted a letter, a purported letter from Jacob Kirari, the clerk of the county assembly. This letter is purportedly received by the Speaker of the County Assembly of Meru. Mr. Speaker, sir, those two letters have been addressed and annexed as KM5, appearing on page 11 to 12 of the governor's response at volume 1B. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, sir, the County Assembly of Meru seeks to summon the one Linda to come and speak to the authenticity of that letter. When she saw the response, she filed an affidavit which is yet to be placed on record before this Honorable Senate, but filed with the office of the clerk to the Assembly, dated 18th of August 2024. Mr. Speaker, sir, the risk of us not summoning these two individuals, and especially Mr. Jacob, to come and tell us whether the county assembly ever received those letters from the county governor, will be that we shall proceed on the basis of evidence that has criminal liability, that has criminal aspects. We'll proceed to answer and to hear a case and a defense that is tainted with illegality. That means, Your Honor, so that means, Mr. Speaker, sir, that Article 50 of the Constitution shall be infringed, a right to a fair hearing, which must and shall not be derogated. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is alleged by the response at paragraph 54 to 56 of the governor's
Counsel
response.
for the County Assembly.
Yes, Your Lord.
Are you still on the request?
Yes, Your Lord. I pen off of that.
You're still on the preliminary issue?
I seek your guidance. I pen off that. We seek the summoning of Virginia.
So let's dispense with that first.
Yes.
Then you may proceed to make your opening statement.
Yeah, in the alternative, if these are not going to be summoned, we seek to expunge from record the affidavit of one Nkanata Dixon Munene, and most importantly, the offending paragraph 3, and the governor's response that has cited those particular letters that we claim to be an illegality and a forgery. But would appreciate if it was summoned, a more summoned.
Counsel for the Governor, what say you in response to that request?
Mr. Speaker, sir, distinguished senators, there appear to be multiple requests wrapped up as one. So I'll respond to it as follows. There is a formal request before this House for the summons to Virginia Kawira as a witness. We have no objection to the summons to Virginia Kawira as a witness. There is a statement made by my counsel that he has to produce relevant documents. Now, one of the things that these rules of procedure frown upon is trial by ambush. And therefore we concede to a summons to Virginia Kawira to attend this Senate and make such comments as are necessary on the documents already filed and shared between the parties. On the request in respect of the summons for Linda Koome, we have not been served by any such request. We are hearing it for the first time here, and we also don't know the justification for that because there's no document, letter, or request served upon us. On the request to expunge the affidavit or part of the affidavit of Dixon Munene Nkanata and certain paragraphs from the response, our reply is simple. Evidence, the credibility or otherwise of evidence is tested in cross-examination. We shall present each of these witnesses here as witnesses, Mr. Speaker, and the Assembly side will have an opportunity to test whatever theories and hypotheses that they have about their candor of their testimony by instrument of cross-examination. We humbly submit.
Thank you, Counsel for the Governor. Now, the Counsel for the County Assembly has made two requests. One, to the effect that summons are issued to 3 additional witnesses to come and support the case of the County Assembly. And 2, certain paragraphs of 2 affidavits be expunged. Now, this is the ruling of the Senate. The request to issue summons to 3 witnesses to come and support the case of the County Assembly is hereby granted. The request to expunge certain paragraphs of 2 affidavits is deemed premature at this juncture, and therefore it is denied. Counsel for the County Assembly, you may now proceed to take your not more than 30 minutes to make your opening statement.
Armed with the directions and the ruling of the Senate. Honorable members, I shall take the first 15 minutes and equally share the same with my learned friend. Honorable Senators, you are being called this morning for the third time.
Counsel for the County Assembly. If I heard the Counsel for the Governor correctly, The letter indicating that you had intended to summon to call Linda Gaki Kiome and Mr. Jacob Kirari, that letter was not made available to the governor's team.
You know, if you may
It
allow
must be
me to
made
call counsel.
available immediately. Let it be made available immediately.
We are most obliged.
You may proceed. And your time starts running from now.
Honorable members, you are being called for the third time to interrogate the character and the ability of Governor Kawira to govern the county of Meru, the county government of Meru. It's not usual that an individual can be called and be brought before this assembly without a reason. There is a fundamental reason that underlies her ability to govern. You're being called for the third time to interrogate the ability of Governor Kawira to manage the resources of the county of Meru. You're being called upon for the third time to interrogate the ability of Governor Kawira to ensure that there is effective service delivery of services to the people and the residents of Meru County. Accountability, honorable members, is a measure of leadership. Accountability is the ability of an individual to be held to account for our actions. It's not a call for interrogating the weakness of an individual, but the ability of that individual to execute her constitutional mandates. For the third time, there cannot be malice. This cannot be personal vendetta. There is no relationship that is unconstitutional between the governor and the county assembly that can make the county assembly to be aggrieved on behalf of the people of Meru County for the third time. Accountability is the gateway to earning trust. We are here because there is serious trust deficit with the ability of Governor Kawira to govern the county of Meru. We shall bring evidence before you, honorable senators, how reckless statements that flies over the face of chapter 6 of the Constitution in respect of the ability of an elected leader at the status of a governor to be able to earn confidence in the office that she holds. We'll show you how families are broken down courtesy of reckless statements that are not accountable, made and attributed to the governor. Honorable senators, we shall bring before you evidence how money and resources that Kenyans are on day-to-day basis working hard to generate are being misused at the heart and the behest of the governor, at the quest or behest of her inability to govern the resources, her inability to manage the county government of Meru, her inability to be in charge of the county. That is the case that we have before you. And when she is called to answer to the same, she has always an escape route. She has manufactured a serious safety valve that makes sure that she is never held to account of her actions. She blames others. She keeps on saying it wasn't me. She is in charge of the county that, as we speak, has embezzled, courtesy of maintaining a manual payroll, Kenya shillings 212 million, hard-earned money, due to the inability to manage the county. We have a governor who is serving in the county government of Meru and who is not able to manage her human resource. When proper procedures are taken, when proper procedures are called out by the employees, they are victimized. They are victimized because she wants to maintain a system that is not accountable. This house has risen to the occasions, and whenever I appear before this house, I live with confidence, whether we win the case or we lose the case, that this house has done its work. This is the house that will go to the history of this republic, that it has been out to hold individuals accountable, irrespective of your gender, irrespective of your association, irrespective of your political association. This house has remained true to its calling. This House has remained very impartial to the processes. And that is why for the third time we are bringing a case against Governor Kawira, because we have confidence with this House that it will look to the facts of the case and dispense with substantive justice. The first step towards success is taking responsibility of your actions. The first measure, the measures of one's personal character is attributed to the ability to manage the responsibilities that has been bestowed and granted unto you. And if you cannot then be held accountable, if you will always be blaming others, then what is your role? When those others are making that mistake, when those others are embezzling the funds, where are you? What actions have you taken? We'll bring cases where the county assembly has attempted to hold accountable the governor, reports made before the county assembly, summons issued, recommendation made, and the governor declines. With contempt, ridicule, and spite on the part of the county assembly. That is the case that we have. Honorable Senators, holding people accountable is a show of love. When you hold somebody accountable, you are simply saying, Honorable Senators, that you are capable of a bigger or to do bigger things. This is not out of malice. It's not out of any personal vendetta. It's to show the love that the county assembly has for the people of Meru. We'll present before you evidence that public participation was effectively carried out. 85% of the participants giving a verdict that supports the county assembly's case. We'll give you evidence that 49 county assembly members voted in support of the motion. These are not relatives to the governor. They have no any fraternal association with the governor. They are people who are simply executing their mandate as bestowed by the Constitution. That is the simplicity of the case that we have. We'll bring you evidence of a witness who is currently displaced from her matrimonial home, courtesy of the responsibility of the governor, courtesy of the governor inability to manage how she relates to the members of the public. We'll bring you the sniper's wife. The sniper's wife is a case before this assembly, not to prosecute the murder case, but to prosecute Chapter 6 of the Constitution in respect to the governor's ability to manage the county. As I pen off and invite my learned friend, Honorable Senators, we invite objectivity in the case. You brought evidence by Governor Kawira. Former individuals who moved this motions before you for her impeachment have now been staged as a witness. You realize what happened. What dawned occurred to this county member of assembly who just the other day, a few months ago, was moving the impeachment for the governor, and now they have become a darling of the governor. Is that really a conduct that is consistent with innocence, that is consistent with integrity and accountability and transparency? We'll bring you that evidence. We'll show you why this a serious turn of events. Honorable Senators, kindly allow me to invite Mr. Mawira for further submissions. I am most humbled.
Honorable Speaker, my name is Meru Governor Mawira, and I'll proceed from where my learned senior, Mr. Ndego, was left. Honorable Speaker, as I was preparing to make this statement, I found myself pondering about this third impeachment process that is before you. And the question that came to my mind is it merely for the joy of doing it? Is it merely for the joy of it that the County Assembly of Meru is before you for the third time? Is it merely for the joy of it? Honorable Senators, clearly and logically, there is a problem. And the County Assembly of Meru has diagnosed that problem. The County Assembly of Meru is beseeching you to find a remedy to find a cure to this problem. Meru is ailing, and this house has the proper medication to this problem. We are going to demonstrate, Honorable Speaker, through various testimonies and exhibits that we have already filed, that there is a serious breakdown of governance in Meru. How is the Meru County Assembly expected to function if its oversight function has been crippled by the executive? How is the Meru County Assembly expected to exercise its oversight role if summons, statements, and resolutions of the County Assembly, even recommendations, are ignored and disregarded by the County Executive under the watchful eye, cover, and protection of the Governor? The County Assembly summons witnesses to appear before it, or members of the Executive. They do not heed such summons. What redress is the County Assembly left with other than coming before you? This House is a protector of devolution, and we beseech you to protect devolution that is on its deathbed in Meru. We will demonstrate, Honorable Senators, countless discreditable acts, all of which amount to gross violation of the Constitution and other laws, abuse of office, and gross misconduct. Of course, there is, and I'm not belittling what my learned senior said, that money has been lost, but there's a lot of misinformation out there that for you to prove or to succeed in an impeachment process or for an impeachment charge to be upheld, you need to show that money has been lost or there is misappropriation. And I'll refer you to Article 181 of the Constitution and its replica in Section 33 of the County Governments Act. The Constitution talks about gross violation of the Constitution, gross misconduct, or abuse of office. That provision, Honorable Speaker, is to be read holistically, is to be read together with Article 75 of the Constitution, which talks about conduct of state officers. And I'll read that provision, Honorable Speaker, that a state officer shall behave whether in public official life or in private life in a manner that does not demean the office that state officer holds. That is the provision. So it is not just a matter of misappropriation or loss of money. Your conduct as a state officer, whether in public, official life, or private life, would equally meet the threshold for impeachment. And I will not state names, but we have seen in this very republic gross misconduct by state officers elsewhere. And they have been held to account, notwithstanding that there was no loss of money. Honorable Speaker, we will show you specific acts by the Governor in our own name. And therefore the defense of "it wasn't me" does not avail itself. Of course, attempts have been made by the Governor to deflect these specific acts on our part, including through forgery of documents. And those documents have been filed, and they're before you, Honorable Senators. And those documents, which the County Assembly contends are outright forgeries, are meant to doing this Honorable House and to deflect the attention of this House from the real issues. And the real issues, for example, that forgery relates to a specific act by the Governor in revoking the appointment of the CEO of the Meru County Public Service Board. But letters have been forged to cover up and to drink this Honorable House, to divert attention from that specific act in our own name, by our own signature, and under our own hand. We are going to demonstrate, Honorable Speaker, that the Governor has persisted in a path of impunity through the County Secretary and the Chief of Staff. And this has been raised in previous impeachment proceedings. The Governor said it wasn't me. But luckily, Honorable Speaker, the law envisages such a situation as the one before you, where a state officer, a public officer, says, it wasn't me, it was so-and-so. Section 24 of the Public Officer Ethics Act and Section 35 of the Leadership and Integrity Act is about the conduct of a state officer acting through others. And those provisions are expressed that public officer is still liable for the acts that are done through others. So, even if that act was done by someone else, the law envisages that acting through others is not a defense to certain acts by the state officer. What recourse, Honorable Speaker, does the County Assembly have if it made recommendations pursuant to previous impeachment proceedings that the governor take action against these specific officers? The governor disregarded those recommendations of the Assembly. The governor ignored those resolutions. So, should the County Assembly sit pretty as this cabal of officers continues to run Meru down, or to take Meru down the drain? These officers must be stopped in their tracks, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the events leading to this day, the fact that this motion is before you is what I would call an act of grace. It is by the grace of God Himself and the County Assembly as an opportunity to be heard before this House today. There have been many threats, intimidation, and attempted arson of the County Assembly on the eve of the debate of the impeachment motion. And this is the County Assembly that is expected to oversee the governor. Clearly, Honorable Speaker, all attempts have been made to hamstring the County Assembly in the exercise of its oversight mandate, and even to hamstring this House in the exercise of its oversight mandate. We were told at some point that the County Assembly and even this House do not have jurisdiction, and we should appear before Nyorincheke for hearing of the charges. The governor, of course, will tell you, Honorable Speaker, that the County Assembly is abusing its oversight role, and that the County Assembly has been held captive by some external forces. But my question, Honorable Speaker, is how is that an answer to any of the charges? For instance, how is that an answer to the charge or the allegation that the governor illegally revoked the appointment of the CEO of the Meru County Public Service Board under our own hand and signature and name? How is this purported capture by external forces a response to these specific allegations against the governor? Many other attempts will be made, Honorable Speaker, to deflect or to divert attention from the real issues. Videos will be played by some common man or ordinary people in Meru, even abusing this Honorable House, abusing the Speaker, abusing the senators, saying that this is a house of greed and bribery. But how is that an answer to the specific charges? And all these videos are not by members of the County Assembly, they are not by elected leaders, they're just by wannabes, or whatever you may call them, probably even political activists. There is a real attempt to shift your attention from the issues that are in the motion, so that you consider other extraneous material that is not in any way associated with the County Assembly, and to pass a verdict. Of course, one that is not just to the County Assembly. Authority that is vested in a state officer, Honorable Speaker, is a public trust. And pursuant to Article 73, it should be exercised in a manner that promotes confidence, public confidence, and the integrity of that office, and it should bring honor and dignity to that office. It should equally demonstrate respect for the people. We are going to play video evidence before you of some utterances by the governor that are not only insensitive, but they do not demonstrate, they actually fall short of the constitutional requirement that a governor in his or her conduct should demonstrate respect for the people. All these allegations, Honorable Speaker, fall within Chapter 6 of the Constitution, and specifically Article 75, which provides that any person who is involved in conduct that falls short of the constitutional requirements may be dismissed or otherwise removed from office. So this is not a novelty, or this is not an invention of the County Assembly. This is the Constitution. The Constitution says that such conduct is not only to be rebuked or to be condemned, but it is conduct that amounts to grounds for removal from office. Honorable Speaker, the governor will take, of course, the underlying tone of the governor's response, and that is the posture that she will take when she takes the stand, is that she is a victim of misogyny, a victim of male chauvinism, a victim of toxic masculinity, and all these other gender attacks against her. And even in her own even in her response, she says that she's a woman governor, and we appreciate that. It is the people of Meru who elected her, including the men in Meru County. Some of them are even here. Some others are members of the assembly. But is gender a shield? Should your gender be a cover that you cannot be held account because you're male or you're female? Is that it, Honorable Speaker? As a panel of Honorable Speaker, is the issue of the threshold for impeachment, and the Supreme Court has had occasion in the Sonko case to state with precision the threshold requirement for impeachment proceedings. And the Supreme Court has stated, Honorable Speaker, that the threshold is not the threshold required to prove criminal culpability in criminal cases. It is not the threshold of beyond reasonable doubt. It is the threshold of above a balance of probability, but below reasonable doubt. So therefore, that intermediate standard of proof, Honorable Speaker, through the various exhibits and testimonies that we are going to play before you and present before you, is a threshold that would not only be met, but the County Assembly will equally discharge the burden on its part in line with that interpretation by the Supreme Court. Another question, Honorable Speaker, is what amounts to grossness. The Constitution talks about gross violation of the Constitution and gross misconduct. And therefore, the Supreme Court, while quoting the decision in Martin Mega Wambora from the Court of Appeal, clarified that one, the allegations must be serious, substantial, and weighty, and that there must be a nexus. Honorable Speaker, specific acts done by the governor, other acts done through officers who are working under her, and our watchful eye, cover and protection. All these are specific acts attributable to her. She's disregarded resolutions of the Assembly to take action against them, and therefore it must be that they were doing those illegal acts under instructions. Honorable Speaker, we are going to demonstrate through our various pieces of evidence that the County Assembly has no recourse but to turn to this House for redress and to redeem devolution that has clearly died in Meru. Because for how is a governor that is at war with doctors, that is at war with members of the assembly, that is at war with the church, that is at war with contractors. How is this governor? A governor that has even shifted contracts that are supposed to be done by the people of Meru or even other Kenyans to the national government, while devolution is about taking resources to the county. How is this governor supposed to deliver for the people of Meru? That is all, Honorable Speaker. Thank you for listening to me. My line is senior, Mr. Ndeo can take the remaining minutes.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. In summary, Your Honor, Mr. Speaker, sir, Honorable Senators, joining issues with the submissions made by my learned friend, and especially on the issue of the attempted arson, it is not a coincidence that attempts to burn down the County Assembly of Meru was done at night of the 8th of August, 2024, when this Senate was seized when the County Assembly was seized with the impeachment motion. It's not a coincidence that individuals have actually been charged before the court of law as a result of that attempt. Honorable Senators, the proposals being made out there, some of which are constitutional, including the dissolution of the county government of Meru, is not a solution to the problem that we have. Why? Because we have identified the problem. The problem is one individual, Governor Kawira. We have identified the problem is a problem of mismanagement. We have identified the problem is a problem of accountability. We have identified the problem. The problem rests with Governor Kawira. Service delivery has been compromised. We'll play to you videos of babies being born outside a health center, being born in a karai. At 11 o'clock in the morning, when you expect the facility to be fully functional, the facility is closed, no service is being delivered, expectant mother delivering inje outside. The people of Meru County expected that with the inception of devolution and with health sector being apportioned to the county government of Meru, that they will have proper stewardship, that they'll have proper managers, that they'll have people who care about the health status of the people of Meru County. As we speak, there is no explanation that has been ever given by the governor why expectant mother will have to deliver outside a facility, why a woman has to give birth in a karai ya maji. That is the pathetic situation in Meru County. No explanation has been given, no apology has ever been given by the governor, no actions has ever been taken to ensure that such action is not or does not occur. No disciplinary actions taken in respect to that particular facility. So that is the case for the County Assembly. We urge you, Honorable Senators, to listen to us, to give us time to substantiate the simple charges that we shall place before you, Honorable Senators. It's a case of mismanagement. It's a case of unaccountability. Is a case of bad governance, is a case of a governor gone rogue, is a case of victimization of the officers serving under the office of the governor or serving under the office of the governor. It's a case of making sure that systems clogs to the benefit of few individuals. That is the simplicity of our case, Honorable Governors. We'll present you with evidence, concrete evidence, Honorable Senators, to prove that simple case, the case that meets the threshold as enshrined under Article 181 and is read together with Section 33 of the County Government Act, is a case about the status of the governor of the Meru County government. As I pen off, Honorable Speakers, some of the proposals being made can be resolved with actions being taken before this Senate. Most obliged.
We now invite the Counsel for the Governor to proceed to make your opening statement. Your time starts running from now. Not more than 30 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I will be doing 5 minutes. My learned senior, Mr. Ngoya, will do the remaining bit. Before I cede ground to my learned friend, I thought, honorable senators, that I should remind you of remarks made by the team representing the County Assembly in November 2023 when we were here for the last impeachment. Council representing the County Assembly predicted, or rather prophesied, that we will be back here. But Council then was very quick to put a disclaimer that though he's not a prophet, neither does he come from a family of prophets, he was sure that we would be here. And for sure, we are here today. So the question is, if Council was not a prophet, does not come from a family of prophets, how could he predict with precision that indeed we'll be here? And the prediction comes to pass. Honorable Senators, I came across a quotation by Abraham Lincoln and Peter Drucker, who said, the surest way to predict the future is to create it. So they went and created this moment. That's why they were able to predict that we would be here. They created another impeachment while they were still standing prosecuting their previous impeachment motion. Honorable Senators, how did they do this? They went back, and we will have evidence to show that one day after the Senate discharged the Senate of all the charges, they were gathered in Nairobi, retreats were held to create a new impeachment motion based on lies. So the people before you today, the County Assembly of Meru, are liars. Pathological liars, honorable senators. They went and created lies. Not just the ordinary lie, honorable senators, but pathological lies. And a pathological lie, honorable senators, is a lie that is not only untrue, but a lie that is created and believed by the very person who has created that lie. So what they did is to create a lie.
Senator Mungatana, you will have an opportunity to make intervention on this opening statement when the time arises. What is your issue on the use of language? Are you saying there's a language that is unparliamentary?
Yes. Mr. Speaker, basically I'm not making any intervention except, Mr. Speaker, we're in Senate and we must obey the rules. Lies cannot be a language that is allowed here, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mungatana, if it is their case that the County Assembly is lying, then they can say so. If it is their case, they're not. Senator Mungatana, this case is before two parties, the governor and the County Assembly. Here, the governor is saying you are being fed to untruths. You may want to romanticize that word, but say as it is. It is what it is. So if in their own case, whatever has been presented to the Senate is not true, then they're really warranted to call it, as they're calling it now, a lie. Proceed, Counsel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and I hope my time was frozen when the intervention came. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, sir, our case is that simple, that what you're being fed with are lies. Lies that were created while we were still in the floor of this House defending the previous motion. So my choice of the word lie was very deliberate, Mr. Speaker, sir.
And the argument, Mr. Speaker, sir, is that the County Assembly has created a lie, told the lie, repeated the lie so many times that it started sounding like the truth. They actually went ahead and believed that lie. And they want everyone else in this room and the entire country to believe in this lie. And when we look at them in the eye and tell them it's a lie, they get bitter. They get mad. They accuse senators of being bribed. They accuse the governor because they want us to believe a lie, because they have themselves created a lie and believed in a lie. Honorable senators, Shakespeare states that a rose by any other name shall still smell as sweet. No matter how much mud they sneer on the governor will remain clean. The governor will remain blameless. All they are hoping is that they will bring the governor so many times here that they will keep on repeating one thing, and we all believe that indeed there might be some truth in it. It does not make it the truth just because they keep on repeating that same lie. Honorable senators, you are sitting here as judges, analyze the evidence, scrutinize the evidence, ask questions to the witnesses that you produce here, and if it does not add up, send them back. Tell them it is a lie, and it is a lie, and the fact that you're repeating that lie will not make it the truth. I yield to my learned friend to proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and thank you, distinguished senators. For the record, once again, my name is Ongoya. Mr. Speaker, in view of the earlier interventions, may I know how many minutes I still have for ease of time management?
Just proceed. It shall be indicated to you as you proceed.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on November 8th, 2023, I had the privilege of appearing before this Senate and addressing this House on a motion for the removal of Governor Kawira Mwangaza from office. That was the third attempt that had been made to remove Her Excellency Honorable Kawira Mwangaza from office by impeachment. It was, however, the second time that attempt was reaching this House. As we stand here today, this is the fifth attempt to remove Governor Honorable Kawira Mwangaza from office, although it is the third time in total for those attempts to reach this House. It means, Mr. Speaker, distinguished senators, between the time we came here and today, 2 attempts have been made to remove this governor from office between November 8th and today. That determination on the part of the County Assembly either smacks of extreme commitment to salvage Meru County from some funny evil, or smacks of extreme malice. I submit very respectfully, I doubt that there can be any middle ground. In my oration before this House on 8th of November last year, I said, and I quote, "It matters not whether she shall be brought here 100 times. You cannot victimize her because those who torment her are tireless in their torments against her." I retrieved these words from the Hansard of this House. But let me take a step back. Let me take a step back and ask, why did I include these words in my oration, Mr. Speaker, sir? I said those words because while we were before this House, while we were sitting here debating that motion, the mover of the present motion sounded a warning to this House We didn't have an opportunity then to adduce that evidence because we had already finished our filings. We have an opportunity now to adduce this evidence. And she said, and I quote, "I want to urge our Senate, if they reinstate Kawira Mwangaza, they should know we have 6 more times to impeach her. When we are here debating the last motion, they didn't need any new grounds. They were sounding a warning to this House. Release her and we shall come back 6 times. If they reinstate her, we will impeach her until the 6th time, so that we tell the people of Meru we did our best. We tried to impeach, but the Senate reinstated her. At an appropriate time, not now, we shall play for you clip VKM1, where you'll see those words verbatim." It means we are here today as a matter of statistical count on the part of Honorable Zipporah Kinya. She has 5 more times to go. The question is, Honorable Senators, what can you do as a House tasked to protect devolution to stop this plainly, and with respect, Honorable Senators, plainly nefarious use of the impeachment power? Let me pose the critical question on the mind of everybody, including mine. What is ailing Meru County? Mr. Speaker, sir, distinguished senators, I make an argument that this question will attract a negative answer and a positive answer. The negative answer is useful for the determination of the matters before you. The positive answer is useful for a long-term engagement with Meru. The negative answer is this: the problem with Meru County is not Her Excellency Honorable Kawira Mwangaza. With humility, Mr. Speaker, let me repeat in clear, unambiguous, and unequivocal terms: nothing in the acts or omissions on the part of Honorable Kawira Mwangaza warrants her removal from office by way of impeachment, at least as far as that principle is established by law. Let me try to deal with a positive answer. To help us supply a positive answer to this question, we have lined up Honorable Evans Mawira Kaaria, a witness for the governor in these proceedings. Honorable Evans Mawira is significant to these proceedings in 4 significant ways. Number 1, he is a 2-time elected MCA in Meru County Assembly, carrying with him a measure of institutional memory. Number 2, he is the immediate former leader of majority in the County Assembly of Meru, therefore exposed to the workings of that assembly to a fairly high level. Number 3, he was the mover of the impeachment motion against the governor that engaged us here in November 2023, and he is best placed to explain to us what were the undertones and the intricacies in those proceedings. And number 4, he will give us a detailed account on how these impeachment motions are conceptualized and what is the thinking behind them. Mr. Speaker, distinguished senators, at this juncture, I can do no better than to take refuge in the voice of one of Africa's perhaps best literary experts, Chinua Achebe, whose voice continues to address us as follows: if the alligator were to come from the water and tell us Mr. Crocodile is sick, who are we to doubt him? Mr. Evans Mawira Kaaria will play that role today. Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me to derive some lessons from the teachings of an American jurist by the name Robert Jackson. Robert Jackson is a jurist worth listening to or reading from for 3 reasons. 1, he served as the Federal Attorney General of the United States of America. Number 2, he served as the prosecutor at Nuremberg. And number 3, he served as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of America. No other jurist in America's or world history has met this combination of influential portfolios in his lifetime this far. In 1940, on 1st of April at 10 a.m., Robert Jackson delivered a speech to the second annual conference of the United States Attorneys. And he was reflecting on the power of prosecutors. I would juxtapose that with the power of impeachers. He observed, and I quote, "The prosecutor has more control over life, liberty, and reputation than any other person in America. His discretion is tremendous. While the prosecutor, at his best, is one of the most beneficent forces in our society, when he acts from malice or other base motives, he is one of the worst." He proceeds, "If the prosecutor is obliged to choose his cases, it follows that he can choose his defendants. And therein lies the most dangerous power of the prosecutor, that he will pick people that he thinks he should, rather than cases that need to be prosecuted. In such a case, it is not a question of discovering the commission of a crime and then looking for the man who has committed it. It's a question of picking the man, then searching the law books and putting investigators to work to pin some offense on him. It is in this realm in which the prosecutor picks some person whom he dislikes or desires to embarrass, or selects some group of unpopular persons and then looks for an offense, that the greatest danger of abuse of prosecuting power lies. It is here that law enforcement becomes personal, and the real crime becomes being unpopular with the predominant or governing group. Distinguished senators, I want to make it unequivocal here. The County Assembly of Meru has not discovered wrongs against Governor Kawira Mwangaza. It has discovered Honorable Kawira Mwangaza first, and has put anything and everything at play to say what allegation can we make against her to possibly embarrass her. Allow me to make some general comments on the impeachment motion before you, conscious of the language of this House, but again mindful to speak the truth in its most manifest form. I repeat, distinguished senators, volume number 1 of the document in front of you from the County Assembly, which essentially is the impeachment motion, is simply and squarely a manifesto of lies. This language, Mr. Speaker, sir, is actually strong, and I begin by conceding that, and it requires justification. Let me therefore proceed to justify by making a promissory note. I promise you that at the tail end of this hearing, you will have discovered the following. Number 1, when you will retire to consider count number 1, paragraph 4 of the impeachment motion before you, it will read, and I quote, "Illegally dismissing Dr. Ntoiti, CEO, County Revenue Board, Paul Mwaki, CEO of Liquor Board, Kenneth Kimathi Mbae, Managing Director of Meru Finance Corporation, and Joseph Kithure Mberia, CEO, MWAS, in the usurpation of the powers of the appointing authorities." When you look at the motion you dispensed with last November, count number 4, you will see paragraph 16b, sending Dr. Ntoiti, that same Ntoiti, Paul Mwaki, that same Paul Mwaki, Kenneth Kimathi Mbae, that same Kenneth Kimathi Mbae, Joseph Kithure Mberia, that same Joseph Kithure Mberia, on indefinite compulsory leave. You are redebating the same matter you debated and voted on here in all its substantive content. Number 2, when you look at count number 3, paragraph 3 of the motion before you, you will find a charge of allegation of employing a bloated workforce of at least 111 personal staff in the governor's office. Good people. Count 4, paragraph G of the last impeachment motion read, employing a bloated workforce, more than 100 personal staff in the office of governor. The Swahili say, ukistaajabu ya Musa, utaona ya Firauni. You'll be surprised that the documentary evidence, the piece of paper that was used to support count 4, paragraph G of the last impeachment motion, is the same piece of paper with the same names in the same order that has been attached to the motion before you. That thing that you voted and said has not been proved. I think the county assembly is trying to try this and embarrass this Senate, so that if you vote to the contrary, they will now be in the blogosphere, saying how inconsistent you are in your decision making.
FM, we are in charge. More Radio, 88.2 FM. 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 We are in charge. More Radio,
Section 4 of the said provision. Kindly read it out, Madam Witness.
Volume
Section 4.
Section 4 on page 60 of the Public Appointments and County Assemblies Approval Act.
Yes.
Reads, exercise of powers of appointment. An appointment under the Constitution or any other law for which the approval of a county assembly is required shall not be made unless the appointment is approved by the relevant county assembly in accordance with this act.
Was there that approval?
None.
Is there an appointment?
Yes.
Is that a violation?
Yes.
Have that met the provisions of Article 181 as read together with Section 33 of the County Government Act?
Yes.
Does that breathe again confidence in the manner in which the governor executes her functions?
No.
Does it call for accountability and Article 10 that the county organs will be held accountable for their actions?
Yes.
Does it breathe confidence in the rule of law?
It doesn't.
Is it prudent utilization of the public funds?
No.
Under Article 201 of the Constitution?
No.
Let's go together with now at ground number 3. You want the governor to be removed from office for refusing to implement the recommendations and or resolutions of the county assembly. Yes?
Yes.
That required the dismissal of Dr. Kiambi Aderu Dhambura and Chief of Staff Harrison Gatobu Nsamba Mbili. Yes?
Yes.
And you're saying it's for gross violation of the Constitution. Yes?
Yes.
Would you kindly lead the assembly briefly to circumstances that pre-existed before these resolutions were met? Was there a public petition?
Yes, there was a public petition number 1.
Do you have that public petition before this assembly?
Yes.
Where do we find it in your bundle of documents? Is it again on volume 3? Volume 2? Volume 2, Honorable Senators. Again, the same volume. Honorable Senators, we look at page 140 of the bundles. Sorry, I beg your pardon, we're looking for the petition, the public petition. We referred to it. Honorable Senators, we find it at page 206. 206 of the bundle. Madam Witness, kindly speak to the evidence relating to that page.
On page 206, there is a petition that was brought by members of the public to the County Assembly for consideration.
What were the issues that the County Assembly was supposed to
the issues that members of the public were raising emanated actually from the last impeachments, where the governor said it is not me. For everything, it is not me. And the members of the public now saying, if it is not you, then there is somebody else. And they petitioned the County Assembly through this petition on page 206 to investigate and take action against those that were them.
How many members?
Because it wasn't the governor.
How many members proposed that petition?
1,611 members of Meru County from all the 45 wards brought this petition to the County Assembly.
Did they append their signatures to that particular petition in some?
Yes.
Same?
Yes.
Do we find that evidence from page 258?
Yes.
Did the County Assembly, sorry, you beg your pardon, Honorable Senators, should be from page
214.
Volume 2, Honorable Senators. From page 214 to 258. Those are the signatures in support of that particular petition, correct?
Yes.
Did the County Assembly consider that petition? And if yes, what was the outcome?
Yes, a joint committee of the Committee on Labor and Justice was directed to consider this petition. And Upon consideration, the joint committee made recommendations to the governor.
Did the county assembly generate a report?
Yes.
Emanating from that particular petition?
Yes.
Where is the report found in your bundle of documents?
Page 90 of volume 2.
Page 90 of volume 2.
Yes.
Honorable Senators, I hope you are there with me. Page 90 of volume 2. That is the report of the committee concerned, correct?
Yes.
Were there recommendations that ensued therefrom?
Yes.
Where do we find those recommendations?
There were
where do we find them? Do we find them at page
on
140?
page 140 of volume 2. Page 140 of volume 2.
Page 140.
Yes.
Did you conduct a hearing, or did you give these individuals a fair opportunity to appear before the committee before the decision was rendered?
Yes.
Did all the members who were affected by the petition participate in that process?
They participated except.
Yes.
They all participated.
Yes.
Except the chief of staff, Harrison Gatobu Arias Nchambambede,
Yes.
who did not respond to the summons.
Did the petition relate to only those two individuals, or there were other individuals who were also involved in that petition?
There were 12 of them.
There were 12 of them.
Yes.
Of the governor, correct?
Yes.
Were all verdicts positive or negative in respect to all the 12?
All verdicts were not. Some verdicts were positive, others were negative.
When you say they were positive, what do you mean?
Some of the county executive committee
Hanan, absolute tranquility.
In their removal.
on the same page 140, on committee recommendations, I would wish Honorable Speaker and Honorable Senators to read recommendation number 2 on page 140, that the governor do dismiss the county secretary, Dr. Kiambi Aderu Thambura, and the chief of staff, Mr. Harrison Gatobu Arias Nchambambede, from office for gross violation of the Constitution and other statutory laws.
Was this communication ever made known to the governor?
Yes, the communication was made to the governor.
Where do we find that evidence in the bundle of documents?
Page 144 of the same document, volume 2.
Page 144.
Yes.
of the same document.
Yes.
Let's describe that document. From whom is this document?
The document is from the County Assembly of Meru.
When is it dated?
It is dated 14th December 2023.
Who is the author of the document?
The author of the document is the Clerk, County Assembly of Meru.
Was the document ever served upon the intended recipients?
Yes.
Do you have evidence of service?
Yes.
Where is evidence of service found in that document?
Page 145.
No, I'm asking on page 144. Did the governor or the office of the governor acknowledge receipt of that letter?
Yes.
How did they acknowledge receipt?
The office of the Chief of Staff acknowledged receipt on 18th December 2023.
How did they acknowledge it? How did they acknowledge?
The stamp.
They acknowledged it by stamping.
By stamping it on 18th December 2023.
So on that date, the governor was made aware of that particular resolution, correct?
Yes.
Did she act upon that resolution?
No.
Does that therefore amount to upholding the rule of law and Article 10?
No.
Does it contribute to good governance?
No.
Does it contribute to respecting other constitutional institutions as the status of the county assembly?
No.
Does it amount to a governor who wants to be held accountable and responsible?
No.
Does it undermine the integrity and the power of the county assembly?
Yes, it undermines.
Does it therefore equally amount to violating Article 1 of the Constitution on the sovereignty of the people?
Yes.
Is that an impeachable ground under Article 181?
Yes.
As read together with Section 33 of the Constitution?
Yes.
Have you therefore substantiated your case as against the governor in respect to this particular allegation?
Yes.
How has their continuous holding of office compromised service delivery in Meru County?
It has seriously compromised service delivery because all the illegal appointments made by the county government of Meru are made by the county secretary, including appointing very junior officers to very senior positions, which has seriously compromised service delivery in Meru County. And an instance like the one I talked about in the video, where an officer in job group M supervises officers in job group R.
A moment, please. The honorable senators are taking note of that particular evidence.
Yes.
It's your evidence that they have compromised service delivery.
Yes.
And you have evidence to show how that has been compromised in the county.
Yes.
Where is that evidence? And as you look at the evidence, how has that been manifested?
On page?
Volume, identify the volume and
volume
page.
2.
Volume 2.
Volume 2.
Volume 2.
Yes, volume 2.
Yes. Page?
Sorry, the volume 2, we have the document on page 198. 198. But because in the bundle of documents it's not clear, the page is not clear, we made a clear copy. It's in volume 6. Volume 6, a replacement of this document on volume 2, page 198.
Yes, let's, honorable senators, go to volume 2.
Volume 2 is not clear, so I'm talking about now volume 6. We made volume a clearer copy.
Okay. Volume 6 is a replica of what we find at
page 198.
At page 198.
Volume 2.
Honorable senators, if you'll go with me to page 30. of volume 6, which is a replica of the same evidence. Volume 6, at page 31.
Sorry, honorable members, it's volume 6, page 31. On this page, honorable Speaker and honorable members.
Yes.
I had sought a statement from the county government in June 2023 on the deployment of directors in the county government of Meru.
Yes.
A statement which was never responded to.
Whom had you sought the statement from?
From the county executive in charge.
From the county executive in charge.
Committee in charge.
Right.
The county executive was summoned by the assembly and gave us a list of directors that are working in the county government of Meru on page 31.
Yes.
And the illegal appointments I'm talking about, honorable members, are found on this page 31. And honorable Speaker and honorable members, I would want to take you to the column on serial numbers. Number 8. This is the list of directors in Meru County.
Yes.
You will find that an officer by the name Kabua Munene Eric.
Paragraph name in terms of the numbers.
The number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8.
Yes.
Honorable members.
We have the identification number, correct?
Yes.
That one is lacking, yes.
The name is Kabua on that list, honorable members.
Would you kindly point out other ones that amount that violation?
Yes.
Yes. Just
let's go down on serial number 24. Serial number 24.
Yes.
We have another officer in the name of Karaine Susan Gitura. Yes.
Yes.
Job group F. A female.
Female.
Female. Job group L.
Job group L.
Job group L is still a very junior job group. Cannot be appointed.
A moment, Madam Witness.
Sorry.
And kindly listen to me so that we may move together.
Sorry.
What is she being appointed to? Which department?
Roles.
Which position?
Director.
Which job group?
The substantive appointment is R, job group R.
Ordinarily it should be job group R.
R.
But who is being appointed here and she is in which job group?
Karaine Susan Gitura is appointed to her job group R, and she is in job group L.
What is the status of the roads and transport network in Meru County as we speak?
Very bad.
Is there hue and cry?
Indeed, there is.
Hue and cry?
Yes.
Thank you. Is there any other entry that you wish the senators to look at? Serial number 25?
Serial number 25.
Yes. Who is being appointed?
Maraine Cyprian.
Yes.
Amel.
Yes.
Job group L.
Correct. Director?
Director Roads and Transport in charge of fleet management.
And she's being appointed to oversee the road transport and energy sector, correct?
Yes.
And she's the Directorate of Fleet Management?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Does she qualify for that appointment?
She doesn't. He doesn't. It's a he. He doesn't.
Doesn't qualify.
Yes.
Kindly confirm that this is a list of directors that you received pursuant to your search of information and that the same came from the county executive.
I can confirm.
And at page 32, do you have any other indication that you wish the senators to note?
Counsel for the County Assembly, just pause a bit. Senator Boni, what is your intervention?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm following page 31, and I would like further clarity. because the 4 officers whom Madam has referred to don't have payroll numbers?
You will have that opportunity,
Yes.
Senator Boni.
Could they tell me so that I know whether they are real or not?
Not now. She'll tell you, but not now. You will have an opportunity to seek those clarifications. At that time, you'll be given your clarification. Proceed, Counsel for the County Assembly.
Madam, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Madam Witness,
Yes.
kindly refer to me with me at page 30 of the state document. Yes?
Yes.
That is the letter dated the 25th of June 2024, correct?
Yes.
The letter is addressed to the Clark County Assembly of Meru, correct?
Yes.
And the same comes from one Dixon Monene Nkatha, correct?
Yes.
Who is Dixon Monene?
Dixon Monene is the CCM, the County Executive Committee member for Legal Affairs.
Is this the letter that forwarded this list?
Yes.
And therefore you confirm its source, correct?
Yes.
And that the same was received by the County Assembly Clerk on the 25th of June 2024, correct?
Yes.
Honorable Senator Khalwale,
Yes.
wanted you to confirm whether there is payroll indicated there too. Number.
I can confirm that there is no payroll number.
Yes.
That is indicated there. And I may not know the intention, the reason, because that's an official document from the county government.
But you have evidence before this assembly that they have maintained 2 types of payrolls, correct?
Yes.
Both manual?
Yes.
And?
IPPD.
IPPD.
Yes.
And that you have evidence to that effect that you shall be leading in the future.
Yes.
Now, before I yield you to my learned friend, I'll only ask you one question about ground number 6. Yes?
Yes.
Ground number 6 is that you are accusing the governor of deliberately and knowingly misleading the public. But before we go to that, do you have evidence before this assembly where service delivery has been compromised? Do you have a video indicating how service delivery has been compromised?
Yes.
Would you wish to play video number 11 in our videos?
Yes.
Kindly have it played. Our videos in support of the motion. Honorable Madam Speaker, we might be requiring the assistance of the interpreter once more.
Can the interpreter come in? I direct that the interpreter be brought in. The interpreter is here. You may proceed to play the video.
Akari muno ekoroba kiuchwa tigania central me maternity sibitare kiuchwa.
The interpreter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and honorable members. These are residents of Kigochwa Ward. Once again, my name is Mutengi Mpara. I'm from KBC, Mwago FM, the translator.
Are you translating the first part of that video? We're expecting that you will do that. Can you...
Bakiuchwa tigania centro me maternity sibitari ya kiuchwa bageti ya machokio kumake mandaitari nara kinyaba kwenda kunenkerwa mwana ora inala simekire kwerwa mwana keni neke sibitari.
These are women from Kigochwa who are doing a demonstration outside Kigochwa dispensary, and they want to know what is really happening after a woman was given who was given birth outside the hospital.
Aitederwa ne kurubange bantora untuba kuwa ne watibo nene ke mwana na kinyeina.
The woman is delivered assisted by other women from the village, and the people, the residents, say that it is a big risk to the kid and the mother herself. We came here at 4 a.m. and I found this woman who was asking for assistance. She was looking for the watchman, and she asked me to help her reach out to the watchman. I was coming to pray. She was given the kid outside here on the field. We are chasing away the kids who want to join us in the process of helping during the delivery. It is a big embarrassment, and it is not a good thing. She was given the kid around 6:20. That's now when we came in, we went to the village to look for some clothing, the blankets, so that we can help cover the kid. We did everything, including clothing for the kid and anything else. And now we are waiting for the doctor to come in and maybe do the examination. The doctor will come. We are waiting for the doctor to come so that he can confirm whether the kid is okay or not. Women and men from Kigochwa are embarrassed, and they say it is something that is disrespecting in the community. Especially now that the hospital is along the road. Women are delivering outside. Governor Kawira Mwangaza is a woman just like the women that are delivering outside here. Why can she look at this hospital and take it like hospital, or has it become a toilet? If it is a toilet, let her come and close, because we don't want to see this embarrassment here. The hospital is along the road, and kings are kings. When the kings are looking at the private part of another kid, it is bad. What about if these kings who are looking at the private part of the governor, would she be happy? Would Kawira be happy if it was done to her? That's why we are embarrassed. Let the governor be told to come here, look at this hospital. The doctor should be here, and if she won't do this, let the hospital be closed forever. Let the hospital be closed forever. We don't want to see the nakedness again. The kings from this village have seen everything, including the nakedness. The women who have come for delivery, they usually get their kings outside here. Sorry, pardon that one kindly. I can't really get that one kindly. There is something. Yes.
Maternity.
The kings from this village have seen everything, and Kawira should know this. The women here are getting their children along the tarmac, and the secondary students and primary students.
Kuringana na ulwamiri bwa sibitare ibati omerie buraba kuomba nyume kwa mukira kesi na araba tungatere mwana na inano mwikia sibitare Meru level 5 non to both.
According to the hospital, they have tried the best they could have done. They have taken the kid and the mother and taken to Meru level 5 hospital. They have refunded the mother and the king to Meru level 5 because the kid was not due to time to be born.
Sibitare ne aruorerwa lakini kuringana na ngwera here tekweleka totena daktari pakweta bare otuko batokareria asia beto no tokaria to sumboka ontorene mwasi yake.
The hospital was open here, but now the services are the problem. The doctors are not available so that they can look after the patient in the hospital. We have been left to do everything in the hospital, looking after the patient, and the watchman himself is not available. The watchman is insulting, and he is also calling us who are going to seek the services, the prostitutes. We want the governor to take action. Before Monday, something has to be done.
I think we can stop at that. Thank you. Madam Witness,
Yes.
What is the status of service delivery in Meru County in respect to that hospital? And are you aware of that hospital?
Yes, I'm aware of that hospital. It is in Tigania East.
Council, just to alert you that you have done 2 hours now.
We're just about to conclude. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yes? Is that the current status of hospitals?
Yes.
Did the governor offer any explanation or apology?
No.
Did the governor take any actions, any disciplinary actions to make sure that the hospital is up and running?
No, I'm not aware of any.
Look at page 10 of the motion, and you look at ground number 6. Which is the count? What are you charging the governor with? Honorable Senators, in the volume 1, the grounds of impeachment.
Yes.
What are you charging the governor with?
Gross misconduct. Count number 2.
Yes.
Gross misconduct.
How has the governor misconducted herself in this respect? Briefly.
The governor has engaged in gross misconduct by deliberately and knowingly misleading the public by giving false information that Kenya shillings 86 million
yes.
and been raised through the pay bill number 247 account number 04001639178899 established after the murder of Daniel Mutiani, alias Sniper, thus violating the moral and ethical requirements expected of state officers, contrary to section number 19.
That's okay. What did the governor say in respect to this amount of money? And what is the actual fact?
The governor, in a video that I would wish that is played.
It's okay. Just what did she say?
She claimed that the people of Meru, including the MCAs, and contributed a total of 86 million after the death of the blogger from Meru known as Daniel Mutiani, alias Sniper.
But what was the fact?
The fact is that according to the bank statement.
Yes.
According to the bank statement on page 277 in volume 2, 277
yes.
to the last page. The last page is 330. The correct position is that a total of 286,518,000 was contributed by the members of the public.
What is the evidence appearing at page 277?
The evidence
that is those are bank statements, correct?
These are bank statements.
Who is the account holder?
The account holder is Irene Kawira Mwangaza.
Where is she operating this account?
She is the widow to the deceased.
And therefore she was one who was in charge of operating this account, correct?
Yes.
Have you ever had an opportunity to interact with the said Irene Kawira Mwangaza?
I interacted with her when she called me. She called me when she had me mention about the case of 86 million the day that I read a notice of motion.
Yes.
And she told me she got interested on this issue because I touched on an issue that is affecting her directly.
Are you calling her as a witness in this case?
Yes.
What is your grievance in respect to these particular utterances and who uttered them?
These utterances were meant to mislead the public.
Who uttered them?
The governor of Meru County, Kawira Mwangaza. She uttered the utterances in a press briefing.
Yes.
Yes, she did in a press briefing.
Yes.
Yes.
What else did she say in that press briefing?
In that press briefing, the governor saying that a total of 86 million was raised in respect to the contributions towards the man. Was big. The window should be bought a Prado.
Yes.
A mansion should be built for her.
Yes.
And an education fund should be established out of the 86 million. And then she arranged that it is a business that the MCAs are used to get fuel for their vehicles.
Yes.
It is an avenue for playing politics. And I believe those ones were not kind.
She said in respect to the death of Sniper.
She said that those that were agitating for the justice for Sniper were playing politics. And it is not only Sniper that has died in Meru County.
What did she say in respect to the Sniper's wife?
I pray that the video is played cancel because I can't remember everything offhand.
Okay, let's have that video played.
Let's have the video played. I've just given a few highlights.
No, we'll call the other witness to have it played. But did she make any remarks in respect to Sniper's wife?
Yes, she talked about the Sniper's wife being built a mansion.
No, in respect to her being or living with an MC.
Oh, sorry, and forgotten that. She also arranged that the wife to Sniper had already been taken by one of the MCAs and was living with the MCAs, and therefore, it was meant to undermine the integrity of the MCAs.
Thank you, Madam Witness. I want to yield you to my learned friend, Mr. Boniface Mawira, to take you through the last count. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Witness. And Honorable Speaker, I'll pick up from where my learned senior has left. So, on this count, that is count number 2, gross misconduct. These utterances by the government, you have a witness in respect to that allegation, correct?
Yes.
And that witness, that video will be played then? Yes?
Yes.
So, these conduct that you say is gross misconduct
by
the governor, does it fall below the expectations of the conduct of state officers under Article 75 of the Constitution?
Yes.
Specifically, does it demean the office that the governor holds?
Yes.
Does it demonstrate respect for the people?
Yes, it doesn't. It doesn't demonstrate respect.
Does it bring honor and dignity to our office?
No.
Okay. Honorable Senator, stand with me to page 11 of the impeachment motion. I'll take you to the that is abuse of office. That is volume number 1 of our impeachment. That is our impeachment motion. The green copy is on page number 11. Specifically, that is count number 3, ground number 8. You accuse the governor of irregular payment of emergency call allowances to 161 doctors and medical officers using the wrong rates, correct?
Yes.
And the governor in opening statements stated that there are circulars to that effect.
Yes.
And that it was pursuant to a collective bargaining agreement between, I think, the Council of Governors and the Union for Doctors, that is Kenya, KMPDU, correct?
Yes.
So, at page number 331 of our volume 2, that is exhibits in support of the impeachment motion. What document is there?
The report of Auditor General on the County Executive of Meru for the year ended 30th June 2023.
The governor in a response says that the County Assembly has not considered this report. And that, and my question to you is, would considering this report that has already been, has this report been committed to a committee of the Assembly?
I'm a member of the committee and I'm not aware.
Okay.
Yes.
So if would consideration of this report by the Assembly change the conclusions that were made by the Auditor General?
No.
Is the County Assembly an appellate chamber for the recommendations that were passed by the County Assembly, for the conclusions that were drawn by the Auditor General?
No.
So the consideration by the County Assembly will not in any way change the conclusions that were made by the Auditor General, correct?
Yes.
Turn with me to page, still in that report, page 344 of our volume 2.
Okay.
That is irregular payment of allowances to doctors.
Yes.
And I want you to read the second paragraph, that is point number 7, right?
Yes.
Read the second paragraph where from although management.
Yes. Although management provided a circular referenced MOH/ADM/CONF/staff/76, volume 1 of 19, dated 18th April 2017, which was issued after negotiation with the striking health workers, and was one of the issues contained in the return to work formula agreed between the Ministry of Health and the unions of the medical practitioners. It was only valid for 4 years from the date of the circular, which had expired.
So at the time of preparing this report, the Auditor General had the benefit of the circular the Governor was referring to, correct?
Yes.
What conclusion did the Auditor General arrive at? The next paragraph.
And the correct rates being applied, doctors and medical officers were entitled to 51,780,000 instead of the 126,120,000 paid, resulting to an irregular payment of 74,340,000.
So the Auditor General confirms that there was an irregular payment of 74 million Kenya shillings, correct?
Yes.
What conclusion does the Auditor General make?
In the circumstances, management was in breach of law.
I'll take you back to the first page of that document. The report begins at page 300. The report begins at page 331, Honorable Senators and Honorable Speaker. The report begins at page 331 of our volume 2, the exhibits in support of the impeachment motion. And at page 336, in fact, at page 336, the key number 2, key entity information and management, the background information. Who is the first person in that list?
The first person on that list on the county executive's day-to-day management is under the following key organs. Number 1, Our Excellency Bishop Kawira Mwangaza, the Governor of Meru County.
The key management team, the person on top of that list is the Governor of Meru.
Yes.
And up there, in the background information, the first person still is the Office of the Governor.
Yes.
And the major responsibility, you will agree with me, is coordination of the overall running of the county government.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the key, this is the management team that the Auditor General concludes was in breach of the law.
Yes.
Would consideration by the County Assembly of this report change that conclusion?
No.
Okay. Again, on that Auditor General report, that is our ground number, your ground number 9 in the motion, use of manual payroll. At page, still in the same report, at page 347, 347.
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes.
That is 347, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Madam Speaker. 347, still over volume 2. 347.
Yes.
Use of manual payroll. What is the conclusion that the Auditor General makes? I only want you to read the conclusion in the interest of time.
Yes.
In the circumstances?
The management was in breach of regulations.
And this is the management that is headed by the governor?
Yes.
So can the governor say it wasn't me?
No.
Can the governor say it is a CEC finance?
No.
She is the head of the management team?
Yes.
The buck must stop at her door?
Yes.
Article 229(6) of the Constitution, I just want you to read what that provision says. Article 229(6) of the Constitution. What does it say?
229(6) says, an audit report shall confirm whether or not public money has been applied lawfully or in an effective way.
An audit report is the final authority on whether money has been spent lawfully.
Yes.
Not the county assembly can change what that audit report says, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Turn with me, Honorable Speaker, to page 377 of our volume 2. That is a Controller of Budget report. For the first 9 months, and specifically page 382 of that report, page 382. Are you there?
Yes.
Paragraph 3.26.7 on expenditure on employees' compensation.
Yes.
The second paragraph.
Yes.
Let me read first so that you can agree with me, right?
Yes.
Further analysis indicates that personnel emolument costs, that is PE costs, amounting to Kenya shillings 3.36 billion were processed through the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Database System, IPPD system, while 102.94 million was processed through manual payroll. The manual payrolls accounted for 3.1% of the total personnel emolument cost, correct?
Yes.
So this is evidence again from the Controller of Budget report for the first 9 months of financial year 2023-2024 that monies have been paid through this payroll system.
Yes.
The governor in a response says that first question for me, Madam Witness, is the county assembly on trial in these proceedings?
No.
So is it sufficient, is it enough for the governor to say that if she is accused of making payments through manual payroll, is it a defense? My question is it a proper defense for her to say even the county assembly does so?
No.
Why do you say so?
I would say so because I would say so because I'm not very sure whether the county assembly does that.
Mm-hmm.
And number two wrongs does not make a right.
Okay.
Yes.
So the question is, does the governor or is the defense of even someone else has done it available to the governor? Is that defense available to her?
Sorry?
Is the defense of even the county assembly or even someone else has done it, so I'm allowed to do it, is that defense available to her?
Is it available?
Okay. My question is this.
Yes.
Is the county assembly on trial in these proceedings?
No.
So does bringing evidence, and we submit there is no such evidence, but does bringing evidence, assuming there is such evidence,
yes,
of wrongdoing by the county assembly, would it excuse the governor of our own wrongdoing?
No.
Turn with me to page KM34. That is volume 1B of the governor's response. Page 229 of volume 1B. That is the index of documents by the governor. It's a blue copy, Madam Speaker. And this is the evidence that the governor has filed. This is the evidence that the governor has filed to show that the county assembly also maintains a manual payroll. And my question to you is simple.
Yes.
On that document, on the face of it.
Yes.
When was that report prepared? For which financial year?
2020, 2021.
Were you a member of the county assembly then?
No.
Was the current government in place then?
No.
Was the governor in office as governor of Meru then?
No.
To the best of your knowledge, in which office was the governor serving in 2020, 2021?
Yes.
In which office or capacity was the governor serving in the year 2020, 2021?
She was serving as the women rep.
So she was not governor?
She wasn't the governor.
And this report was not with respect to the assembly in which you serve, correct?
Yes.
You are a first-time member of county assembly, correct?
Yes.
On ground number 10, on employment of a bloated workforce.
Yes.
Which you say is it has contributed to an excessive wage bill. That is the allegation?
Yes.
Honorable Madam Speaker and Honorable Senator, stand with me to page 11 of our motion still on ground number 10. And the evidence of that is to be found still in the Auditor General report. I beg your pardon, Madam Speaker. It is to be found in a moment, Madam Speaker. How many staff do you say are employed in the office of the county governor?
111.
That is 111 staff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you filed any evidence before this committee, before this honorable house,
yes,
to show that this is bloated workforce, indeed?
Yes.
Okay. Why is that evidence?
On page 164
yes,
of volume 2.
Yes.
Yes.
164
of volume 2.
Yes. What is that document at page 164 of our volume 2? Of the County Assembly's volume 2? What is that evidence?
It's a list of appointed persons in the office of the governor and the appointment dates from August 2022 to date.
So the document from page 164 all the way to page 175, those are the staff in the office of the governor.
Yes.
For in the interest of time, you will agree with me that there are 8 cleaners in the office of the governor?
Yes.
There are 17 information officers in the office of the governor?
Yes.
Clearly, this?
Yes.
Is that a bloated workforce that you're talking about?
Yes.
How many staff, in the document at page 172, how many staff were employed by the former governor in his office?
The former governor employed 45.
Okay, that is 45 staff. That is which page of your exhibits in volume 2?
172.
Page 172.
To 175.
175. Okay.
Yes.
And our advisories been given by the Transition Authority and by the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee and by the SRC on the limitation as to the number of staff in the office of the governor?
Yes.
Where is that evidence found in your
Page 176
yes,
of volume 2.
That is advisory by the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee?
Yes.
At page 178, that is the advisory by the Transition Authority? Correct?
Yes.
And at page 179, you will agree with me that some of the staff that are listed there, the political advisor, chief of staff, there is the page, correct?
Yes.
And a few, and personal staff at page 180.
Yes.
Personal assistant, correct?
Yes.
Okay. How was this, as you say in ground number 10, at page 353, Madam Speaker, turn with me to page 353 of the County Assembly's Volume 2. I believe it's a pink copy. volume 2, page 353. You say that as a result of this bloated workforce, Madam Witness,
yes,
you've spoken about illegal appointments
yes,
in the office of the governor, correct?
Yes.
You've spoken about how these illegal appointments, people serving in other job groups, through the impunity of these two officers serving under the mercy of the governor, has hampered service delivery in the county government of Meru, correct?
Yes, yes.
Now, with respect to this bloated workforce,
yes,
at page 353,
yes,
you say that the wage bill for the Meru County government from the financial year 2022-2023 to 2024 has increased by 500 million. Correct?
I can make a correction. It is 2020-2021.
Thank you for that.
On the extreme right.
On the extreme right?
Yes, the outer year, the previous year. Then the next column,
yes,
is on 2022-2023 when the governor took over.
Thank you for that correction.
Yes.
So in financial year 2021-2022.
Yes.
And the governor took in the first quarter.
Yes, the first
in fact, in the last quarter of that year.
The first quarter. The governor took over in the first quarter.
Of which financial year?
The first quarter of 2022-2023.
Yes.
In August.
In August.
Yes.
Yes. So when does the first quarter begin?
The first quarter begins in July.
In July, 1st of July.
Ends, yes.
And ends in which month?
It starts in July.
Which date of July?
1st July.
Yes. When does the first quarter of the financial year end?
The last financial year.
When does the first quarter of which is the last date of the first quarter of a financial year?
The last date is the end of September.
End of September.
Yes.
September.
A quarter is made up of 3
months.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is the time when the governor took over.
Yes.
And between then and 30th of June.
Yes.
Following year.
Yes.
In the first quarter and the last quarter of the financial year 2022-2023,
yes,
compensation of employees increased by 500 million.
Yes.
What are the actual figures from financial year 2021-2022? I want you to read it out to the
during the 2021-22 financial year, 2020-20 yes. 2021-22.
It was 4
billion 496 million.
You can just leave it at that in the interest of time.
Okay, 4.4 billion.
4.4 billion.
Yes.
By the end of the year?
By the end of the year, it was 4.9 billion.
Is this what you're saying has been contributed to by this bloated workforce?
Yes, and other appointments.
And the short list that we've seen of the 111 personal staff.
Yes.
I'll take you back there.
Yes.
At page 164. Page 164 of our volume 2, Madam Speaker. On the top of that page, it says appointed persons in the office of the governor and the appointment dates from August 2022 to date. Correct?
Yes.
You will agree that these appointments were made when the governor came or assumed office?
Yes.
And in the first quarter of that financial year?
Yes.
Okay. I'll take you to the last allegation.
Yes.
Madam Witness, this allegation of a bloated workforce, you're also saying that the wage bill for Meru County government exceeds far beyond the 35% limit that is set by law.
Yes.
Because it stands at what percentage on your page 11?
Yes.
This recurrent expenditure and this excessive wage bill, it stands at what percentage?
It stands at 49%.
49%.
Yes.
Thank you. The last allegation in your motion is paying Kiambi Chrisas Manyara, a public communication officer in the office of the governor, his full salary and benefits while in remand. Correct?
Yes.
What evidence do you have to show that this Christas Kiambi Manyara is a staffer in the office of the governor?
Yes, he's a staff in the office of the governor.
What evidence do you have?
I have his pay slips.
Yes.
And I also have an appointment letter, volume 6, appointment letter. You can check in volume 6. Yes, we have a payslip on page.
A payslip is at what page? Page 392?
Page 146 of volume 2.
Madam Speaker, turn with me to page 146 of our volume 2. That is the payslip for Christas Manyara Kiambi. As a road date?
Yes.
This for which month, that payslip?
The payslip is for the month of June 2024.
June 2024.
Yes.
Where is the other payslip? Page 392?
The other payslip is on page 392.
392 of the same document, Madam Speaker?
Yes.
For which month?
For the month of April.
And page 393 for which month?
393 for the month of May.
Yes.
Yes.
And from the short list you just showed us at page 164, still on page 164 of the same volume 2, Madam Speaker. Specifically at page 169 of that document, beginning at page 164, who is the staffer listed as number 69 in the office of the governor?
The staff number 69 is Kiambi Christas Manyara,
Yes.
a public communications officer 2,
Yes.
recruited on October 3rd, 2023.
Yes. So this is he's working in the office of the governor.
Yes.
Do you have evidence that he was charged in court?
Yes.
What was he charged with? You say he was charged with murder. Whose
Yes.
murder?
Yes.
Whose murder was he charged with?
Kiambi Christas Manyara was charged with the murder of Daniel Mutiani, Araya sniper.
At what page, what evidence do you have in respect?
There is a charge sheet.
Yes. Page 429 of our volume 2, that is a pink document, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members.
Who is the fourth accused person in that information or charge sheet?
The fourth accused in the charge sheet is Christas Manyara.
Charged with murder.
Charged with murder of Daniel Sniper.
And you say he was paid. We've seen the pay slips.
Yes.
And from the charge sheet, when was he charged?
He was charged on the 29th day of February 2024.
You have information that he has been in remand?
He has been in remand.
Until what time?
Up to until around May 2024.
Okay. And you have his pay slips for the month of March. Immediately after 29th of February, he was paid in March.
Yes, he was paid in March.
Paid in
yes.
May and June.
May and June.
Okay.
Yes.
And you say that he should not have been paid?
He should not have been paid.
Okay.
Yes.
And you quote section 4.2 of the Public Service Manual?
Yes.
Why is that document in your exhibits? In the interest of time, page 394, Madam Speaker, still over volume 2, the pink copy. Specifically, page 419 of that document of our volume 2. The manual begins at page 394.
Yes.
Specifically at page 419, Madam Speaker. What does that provision say?
The provision on page 419.
Of which document? The Public Service Commission Discipline Manual, correct?
The Public Service Disciplinary Commission Manual.
Yes.
Talks about absence from duty without leave, reasonable or lawful cause. I beg to read, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members. When an officer is absent from duty without leave, reasonable or lawful cause, the following steps shall apply. A, establish the exact dates the officer was absent from duty. If not traced through personal contacts and next of kin with a period of 10 days from the commencement of such absence, the salary and other remunerative allowances shall be stopped with the effect from the date of absence, and disciplinary action instituted against the officer.
So from the time he was absent, he should not have been paid?
He should not have been paid a cent.
Turn to page, the previous page, I believe 418. What does it say about interdiction and suspension?
On page 418, 4.22, suspension, the circumstances under which an officer may be suspended from exercise of powers and functions of the office include when charged with serious criminal offenses in a court of law, when B, charged under the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act, C, upon conviction of a criminal offense.
So by the virtue of that provision, the moment he was charged with a serious criminal offense being murder, his salary ought to have been stopped, correct?
It should have been stopped. Maybe I can correct that. It should have been stopped.
Yes.
The moment he was absent from work.
Yes.
Not even being charged. The moment he was absent from work.
Yes.
The salary ought to have been stopped.
Okay.
Yes, that is the standard procedure in management of public service.
And I will refer you to your volume 6. Our volume 6, the first two documents there, our volume 6 of the File Assembly documents, of the county, there is page 1 and 2. What documents are there? What are those two documents? Page 1 and 2?
Page 1
and 2.
Page 1, on page 1, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, we have an appointment letter for Sabina Gatumi.
Yes?
Yes.
What is your contention? Because in your motion you filed, in your volume 2, you provided documents that evidence illegal appointments. That is volume 2 of the exhibits in support of the impeachment motion.
Yes.
What is your contention with respect to those two officers?
Page
187 of your volume 2. Page 187, specifically page 188.
My contention with those two documents on volume 6 is that it is on other irregular appointments where...
Irregular appointments by who?
By the county secretary of the county
government. This is the notorious
Meru,
county secretary.
The notorious county secretary.
Whom the governor refused to take action against, despite the recommendation of the assembly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Where is the evidence of those illegal appointments?
The illegal appointments are on page 187 to 188.
Kindly explain what is illegal about the appointment of Jane Kanana?
Jane Kanana.
Yes.
Jane Kanana on page 188.
Page 188 of our volume 2, Madam Speaker.
Yes, page 188. We have serial number 2. There is an appointment of Jane Kanana as the assistant director, who is the assistant director of a department that is not known on that page. And she is appointed an acting director, human resource management, by the county secretary. And this appointment, in my view, is illegal because the Department of Human Resource as a substantive director. And this appointment means that
where is the evidence? Sorry to interrupt. Where is the evidence of the substantive director?
The substantive director is on volume 6, page 3.
Yes.
Page 3.
So, Meru Kimaita,
yes,
that appointment letter is a substantive officer.
Yes, Meru Kimaita is the substantive director of that department.
Is it proper or legal for the county secretary to appoint another person to act in a position where there is a substantive office holder?
It is not procedural.
Yes.
And it also amounts to misuse of resources.
What does the County Government Act say with respect to acting appointments?
Government Act Section 69(2)(a)
yes,
stipulates that you cannot appoint or designate an officer to act in a position that is not vacant.
Yes.
Yes.
That is the appointment. That is
the Director Human Resource.
That is the Assembly List and Bundle of Authorities, Madam Speaker, page 57. That is a County Government Act. Section 69, you can read the provision. Page 57.
On page 48 of the bundle of documents, that is volume 3, I'm reading section 69(2), where it says, a public officer shall not be designated to hold or act in a public office if A, the office is not vacant.
So if the office is not vacant, you cannot deploy another person to act in that office, correct?
You cannot.
Does that apply to Sabina Katumi? Does that apply to her as well?
Yes.
Who is Sabina Katumi as per your first page, page 1 of your volume 6, the further assembly documents?
Sabina Katumi, as according to my documents, is the substantive payroll manager.
She is the substantive payroll manager, correct?
Yes.
Who has been deployed to act in our office when there is a substantive office holder?
An officer by the name Solomon Mongera,
yes,
has been deployed to act in that office.
Yes.
Whereas Sabina Katumi is the substantive holder of this position.
And at page 189 of our volume 2, turn with me to page 189 of our volume 2, Madam Speaker. These minutes that were signed by the county that were prepared and signed by the county secretary for the County Human Resource Management Advisory Committee, one of the persons present is Solomon Mongera.
More Radio 2 FM. We are in charge. More Radio 88.2 FM. We are in charge. More Radio 88.2 FM. We are in charge. More Radio 88.2 FM.